And welcome. This is Online Trader Central. We want to welcome each and every one of you to the presentation today. We are fortunate to have with us Mike G and Mark Sachs with Online Traders This is Online Trader Central, and Mike G and Mark Sachs are with Right Line Trading. So I apologize for that, but it is time to begin. It is exactly 4:30. If you would, please put your hands together and welcome our hosts and presenters today. From Right Line Trading, please welcome.
Hi, everyone. I really appreciate everybody coming out today to listen to our webinar. And I want to get right to it and give you a lot of facts and information about our trading software. Now, I believe that everybody in the room has one thing in common. You're all seeking to find a software system that provides you with entries with a predictive value of close to 90%. You're trying to become profitable day traders. And Right Line Trading software is going to get you there. And I can tell you this with a tremendous degree of surety. Mike G, who's going to be the presenter today, is going to go over how we trade. But between the two of us, he and I have evaluated hundreds of software systems. And what we've come up with is a program that really combines the best features of all. Right Line Trading combines oscillator analysis, MACD analysis, volume analysis, order flow analysis, market structure analysis, and fractal analysis. The system analyzes information from multiple time frames because what's going on your trading chart and on multiple higher time frames is important to take a chart, to take a trade. In addition, it does its own analysis of market structure. So in market, there is no single confluence of indicator signals that's going to get you into a trade and have you profitable almost every single day. You have to respect market structure, multiple time frames, and then get a confirmation with a confluence of indicator signals. Now, we're going to invite everybody in this room into our live trading room tomorrow. We have removed the username and password. If you go to Right Line Trading and you go to trading room and you just simply click on the link to the trading room, you're all going to be able to enter tomorrow and see how we trade. And Mike's going to trade tomorrow. Normally I trade. Now, here is our trading performance. It's a little complicated because we post a spreadsheet, and this is located on the website. Now, in our last 20 trades, we have had 17 winners, and we have had 3 losers. Of those 3 losers, only one was a full loser. It was a 10-tick loser. One was a 4-tick loser, and one was a 2-tick loser. Now remember, I have to emphasize this is all for educational purposes only, all for sim trading only, not live money. But for educational purposes only, we've lost every single day. $3,150 this month to date. You're trading 5, you'd be up $5,770 to date. And these numbers are not based on a retrospective analysis. These retrospective analyses, I think, excuse my French, but they're hogwash. I mean, you can take a look at a piece of software and retrospectively take a look at supposedly winning setups, and they're not going to get you where you want to be. Doing a look back is not like sitting in a live trading room and taking the signals. And in our live trading room, we do remarkably well. Today in the trading room was one of the most difficult days we had this month. I started with 2 full losers. Now, as I had mentioned, we only had 1 loser all month, and I had 2 losers. And then I had 4 winners in a row, plus 14 ticks, plus 14 ticks, plus 13 ticks, and plus 10 ticks, and drove the net equity today on 3 contracts up to minus $40, and on 5 contracts up to plus $200. And that's the power of the software. Even on days where we find trading difficult, our net drawdown is very, very minimal. And under our worst case trading scenarios, we only lose a small amount of money. That's why we're heading towards $11,000 or $12,000 month on 5, and what I hope is a $6,000 or $7,000 month on 3 contracts. Now, without any further ado, I want to bring on Mike. Now, I've known Mike for over a decade, and we really, really started back in the trenches 10 years ago. And he and I have done an incredible analysis of the market to come up with the trading program. And he's going to be the man who's going to be doing the trading in the room tomorrow when you come in. And I hope every single person in this room is going to come in. The last thing I want to say before I turn it over to Mike is I listen to a lot of Online Trader Central webinars, and I listen to a lot of people put down trading rooms. Well, you know what? If you believe in your system and you have faith in the system-generated and the software-generated entry signals, you are going to have a live trading room. And you are going to make it available to everybody to get in that room and watch you trade. It's really easy to say, live trading rooms, they don't work. Oh, you know, they're ridiculous. But you know what? We want you to come into our live trading room. And we want you to see the kind of trading that we do every single day. Because I am positive that you are going to be remarkably impressed with what you see. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and he's going to really give you the lowdown on the right line trading system. Thanks, and I'll talk to you briefly at the end of the presentation. In the room, we trade crude and we trade the Russell every single day. And if you come in tomorrow, the room starts at 8 a.m. Please be in at 8 sharp. Mike is a real early bird. If you get in there at 8:20, potentially you will have lost the opportunity to take 2 nice winners. So I mean, get in there at 8 a.m. Just walk into the room. You're there. Okay, Mike. You're on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Let me just get here. Let me make sure that the sound's okay. Everybody can see the chart. We okay? Okay. All those big words that Mark says really scares me, fractal analysis and all that. I'm taking this from a different point of view. I'm a trader. I don't design programs. I just trade. And as Mark said, I've been trading a long time. So what I decided to do is I said to myself, if I was in one of these seminars, webinars, what would I like to see? Well, I don't want to see a bunch of charts. I don't want to see a bunch of statistics. I want to see a chart. I want to see how it works. Let me see some trades. Let me see how easy or difficult it is. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the chart from a trader's point of view. Right here, a chart that we trade every day. Now, Mark indicated that we trade crude and the Russell. I, myself, tend to stay away from the Russell. The volume is very low. Today was a very difficult day for crude because it was contract rollover. So, as an example, the February contract had 152,000 shares and the March contract had 142,000. So tomorrow we're going to start trading the March contract. And also the S&P didn't even hit, it was 950,000 shares. So it was terrible trading, terrible volume. Why, I don't know. But anyway, I trade the Russell, and the other thing, I trade crude, and the other thing I trade is natural gas. And I'll show you both the charts. Those are the two I trade. Let me just explain to you a little bit about how simple the system is. Every chart on crude and on natural gas. When you get, and I'll show you just a minute. you know exactly where 3 is going to be. So let me go back to this morning, and let's go back. The flat line where I'm 50, the line comes to both territory, the slope. And Mark's done a great job on this, is you never want to trade above the 50. You don't want to go long if you're above. So let's signal that we went below the 50, if you can see my cursor right here. We went below the 50, waiting the color like to be like for our 15 to be pointing in the direction that we want to go. I want to move. Let me show you this, because this is used. I don't want the spread between the 50 example. I did not go in here on this trade. I am right here, bar. You can look over right here, an MA ride. If you look at the tours, you'll see difference 9 ticks. Your entry is going to be, because this bar is forming, it starts, so you know that you'll see the open is 4, it says team, 9, 4, 13. So you know that your entry is away. So you know your entry is going to be at the bottom of the bar. As soon as the bar closes, and there's your entry right there at 05, one tick below, and you're in the trade. Now, one important thing that Mark's done is there are 3 lines here. This right here is a momentum. The bottom one is the volume indicator. The middle one we're not too concerned with, or I'm not. It's another. You get your kid in red, as these 2 are. You know right away that you have volume and momentum with you. In yellow, you've got all 3 with you. My concern is to get 2 of them with me. So right here. So this is where I'm in. I'm sorry, the high of the candle was 14. So if you subtract 9 ticks from that, then your entry is going to be at 05. And your entry is 05, and then you can see what happened. And what we do, there's the trade. What we do is we take off in 3 different parts. This is the kind of system where it's beneficial to be able to trade in 3s. I like to trade 5 contracts at a time, and that's actually, that was the number that Mark gave you today. If you trade 5 at a time, you take 3 off at 6 ticks. That gives you $180 immediately. You move your stop to -4. So now you've got 2 contracts left. If you're stopped out, you lose $80 on the other 2. So you're pocketing $110. The second target is 10. Now you've pocketed $280, and you move your stop to break even, and you employ a 10-tick trailing stop, which is very easy with Ninja. We'll help you set it up. And you can see where the trade went. So if the entry was right here, was at 05, and the low went down to 88, so you were candle at up or 98. So you would have made 5 on the last contract, and then you would have made 5 and 10. So you would have made $330. The point being that this gives you, excuse me, every advantage of getting a runner. Now, this was a very difficult day to trade. The other thing that Mark has developed is what he calls the ABC. A, B, C. But I don't take them unless I have complete color with me. Here, when the bar, the 15 is yellow, that tells me that the market is flat. But why would you want to trade a flat market? I just let it go. All right? The trade could be successful, but you could see right there it had limited potential because it was flat. It didn't get red till here. But by that time, you could see that most of the move was over. You had well, actually right here is what I call a lot of space between. And then you could see when the cup 3 lines green down here, so you know immediately where you are. So what this does is this gets you out of just a trade, get you over here at the differential, and you can see that the difference 0896 and 50. Take a look at this is simple because once the candle starts, all you do is you look at the high of the candle, 90. You can see it over here on the data window. Look at the high, 96. All you got to do is subtract 9 ticks away because it's got to break the 8 range for you to get in. So 96, so your entry now is going to be 87. And you put the 87 there. It's a sell stop. No slippage, no nothing. Well, maybe you'll get a tick or two depending on how fast the market is, but usually I'd say 99% of the time there's no slippage. You're waiting for the trade. There it goes, puts you right in, and then you just employ your 5 out, 10 out, and let the last one become a runner. So this entry right here on this one was at 87. The move was at 60, so that would have stopped you out at 17 ticks on the last contract. So 180 and 170, 350. Here it is, 946. You got 2 trades on crude, and you're done. I mean, why would you trade anymore? The other thing I want to show you, and I think it's a great, great instrument to trade, is natural gas. Let me just switch this over. Same 8 range. Let me just switch this over to natural gas. Now today, natural gas had had their contracts. It was contract. They announced how much was used. So you had to stay away from. Let me move this back. The clock to about 12. And there's a lot of things that you could do with right now. Do you trade? I don't know what you mean, what trade. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. TF is the Russell. There's only one TF. So I'm going to go over here to, let me get over to around 8 o'clock. And you don't want to trade it in market. Now, this is very up from it. Why would you get away? It's more at that point. Wait for it to come back down. Here we start getting red on your 50. This is the names of the signals. I'm honest to God, I don't. I know our entry, and I believe this is a strategy entry, but I don't care what names are. I just care that I'm trading with the trend. I stay below the 50. Here's the turn right here. I look over here at the differential, and I employ the same differential on natural gas that I do on crude. I want it to be within 15 ticks. Here it is. You can see it's 69 to 77, 8 ticks. I know that my entry is going to be right here. I know when the candle starts. By the way, these signals go on immediately. They'll flash on and off during the candle, and they do not disappear. These can't, even if the trade's a loser. And let me tell you something: if you think there's no losers, then you're in a different world. Every system has losers, and this one is no different. All right, we're going to have our losers, but I'm going to tell you this: you'll be trading over 90% if you follow the system. This is one of the easiest systems, and I've been trading a lot of years, and this is one of the easiest systems I ever saw. You can see the high of the candle was 72 right here. You know right away you're waiting at 63. That's it. That's all it is. You will put it in. 63, look where you go down to. The low down here is 11. So that means you're stopped out at 21. That's about a 40-tick move on your last contract. On your last contract. So that would be $400 plus your first two contracts. You know what I would do? I'd close it up. Let me just go on. See, now here's a move right here with red, right here. Perfect signal. But if you look at the differential over here, you'll see that the differential right there is 19 ticks. For me, that's a little too much. This trade looks like it was a nice winner. But you know what? There's going to be winners you're going to miss, and there's going to be losers. Nobody has ever played blackjack. You know that if you go to play blackjack, what you do is you play basic strategy. Because that's what puts the numbers in your favor. That's what we're doing here. We're putting the numbers in our favor. This one may have worked, but in the long run, you'll find that those do not work as well. And you're going to have 20 trades a day. I'm going to tell you, you're going to have, and if you trade all day, and you really shouldn't, you're going to have maybe 5 good trades, 5 trades, 6 trades. But I wouldn't trade after 11 o'clock. I mean, that would be my maximum. Because by then, the volume slows down for the lunch. Everybody's trying to recoup losses or sell their winners, whatever. And you could see that you is real want to trade this crap. And the beauty of this is it keeps you a shop. Because you're flat and coming down, and you got the 15 going up. Well, the one way, one's the other way. Sounds like me and my wife. Now you're coming back here, and again, turning down. You could see you could get in the day the trades have less potential. But here's the situation. The differential is only one tick. The entry, the beginning of the candle was 76. You got your 15 coming down. You got your 50 red. So you know your entry 67. And there was a situation where it only went 9 ticks. So what would have happened there? You would have made your first contract, and you would have been stopped out -4 on the other two. But you would have made money. Here's a good example right here. This is a Elliott wave with a C. The C will plot immediately. Right here. The C will plot in the beginning of the candle. And you could see that it's in a cyan color. And you could look down and see that it's green. That your volume and momentum is green. You got your 50 green. You got your 15 green going up. All you got to do is just put your buy stop right there, right at 90. Because the lower the candle, if you look at the data box, the lower the candle is 81, and you know that when it starts. And right down here you have the range. It tells you what range is remaining, so you know that the low is 81. All you do is add 9 on is 90. And you put 90 on, and you wait for the buy stop, and just go. That's it. And there you go. What did it do? Went up to 21. Okay. Well, I was just thinking there's really not much more I could explain to you in the way of simplicity of the system. I'd like everybody to actually see this in operation tomorrow. I'm going to be trading it tomorrow. Sound bad interference. Well, I don't know what to tell you. If it doesn't work, I don't know how to fix it. So, I'm sorry. What about the pivots? You know what, Sullivan, the red lines, the red dashed lines are the pivots. Okay? If I'm going right up into a pivot, like if there was a pivot right here, I wouldn't have taken it. But the pivot's way up here, and you can see what happened. Look, right there. It hit the pivot, and what happened? Bounced right back. So that's the pivots. I'm trying to catch up on the questions. Okay. Well, actually, Mark, I don't know what else I could tell him. I mean, if anybody has any questions they want me to answer, I'll be glad to. Or Mark and Leo are going to answer questions. But as simple as the presentation sounds, that's how simple it is to use the system. I mean, somebody asked me about the arrows. I mean, you've got signals here. You've got the triangle, which is a strategy entry. You've got the plus sign, which is a momentum entry. You've got the arrow here, which is a power entry, and you've got your ABC. But the main thing is you don't want to trade against the trend. So the trend is determined by the color of the 50 and 15. It's as simple as that. So if this 15 here was not green on this C, I would not have taken the trade. I see your 90 entry on the bar did not change color. My 90 entry. I don't understand that. What other markets does this work on? It works on every single market, but the problem is that I've put it on every market, and why would you trade a market that doesn't move after you get a signal and doesn't trend well? The two markets that I think trend the best are crude and natural gas. The ES trends horribly. The Dow trends horribly. What else is there? Gold is horrible. You're going to get good trades out of them. I could show you gold. I used to trade the gold market. You're going to get good trades out of them. But the problem is that you're not going to get the success that you're going to get with crude and natural gas. And I also like the Russell, but the volume has been terrible lately, so I don't want to trade it. Yeah, but the proprietary SMAs that have been developed by Mark and Leo. But they're basically 50 and 15 moving averages. But the key to this thing is the three-line indicator. Nobody has that, where it changes the bar. The bar, you don't even have to look down here. All you got to do is look at the color of the bar. The bar tells you. As soon as I see cyan, I know I got a 2-line. As soon as I see it outlined in magenta, I know I got a 3-line. Immediately, I don't even have to look down here. Here's your pivot. Hit the pivot. Look at that. Boom, right back down. Now, you can see here's another entry right here. Here's an arrow. It's a power entry. But you wouldn't touch it. Why would you touch it? Because at this point, you've got to move here. You see it comes back down. And you see the difference there is over 15 ticks. If you look down at your pivot, at your data window, you can see right away it's over 15. And look at the size. I call this a wide mouth. Why would you want to trade in a situation like that? Let it come back down to the 50. Let it retrace. Wasn't that NG trade at news time? The news on the natural gas is at 10:30 on Thursdays. That was today. So you stay away from the 10:30 time. Don't want to get caught up in that. Just like the crude report comes out on Wednesdays. You don't want to get caught in that. Can I show a 6J? What is a 6J? Can I explain the last short at 10:30? There was no signal there. Okay? I don't short at 10:30. Gas report came out at 10:30. Okay? Absolutely no trade in it. Look at it. It said the natural gas 30. That's why you wanted to stay away from it. I don't trade the euro. So to show them that, Mark, you want me to put that up? I don't even look at it. I'll be glad to put it up. I don't even have it. I don't even have it on my charts. I'd have to download the, I don't have it, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll trade any of the currency futures, Heinz. I don't have them up. I have to go in, I have to install them, and I just can't do that right now. I don't trade any of them. They don't, they just don't trade well. They just don't trade well at all. So I don't trade them. I'm just trying to show you the simplicity of the system today. And I invite you all to come in tomorrow to see the actual program in operation. I mean, for educational purposes only, obviously, but to show you how easy it is, that you'll know exactly where your entry is going to be. There's no question about where your entry is going to be. We can show you how to, or Mark or Leo can show you how to set up your dome. I have a dome that I set up that once I'm in a trade, I don't even have to worry about it anymore. All I do is get in, and my dome takes care of everything. Takes me out at 6 on the first, 10 on the second, and I have the last one set for 50, so that if I catch a runner, it goes. And there have been, not many, but there have been a few that have gone in. Well, you saw one today that went 40 ticks. So it can happen, and if it happens, I want to be there to be part of it. Okay? Any other questions that I can answer? With regard to the trading, Mark's going to take it over. You know, you don't have to tell you that I'm not a technician. You know, like I said to you, I'm a trader. I just try, you know, all I tried to do today was just to show you a system that trades that's very easy to trade. And like most of you, I'm sure, if I open up my closet in my office, I got to get out of the way from all the programs that I bought over the years to keep them from falling down on me. I mean, all of us have been there. We've all had the good ones that we thought were good. We've all had the crap. We've all spent a lot of money for programs. Mark and I first met, as he said, over 10 years ago. We were both involved in a program that cost us over 4 figures. Not 3, but over 4 figures. And, you know, we've all been in those programs. And the point today was just to let you know that this is a program that it just oozes from easiness, if that's a proper expression. It's just so easy. And all you've got to do is just concentrate. That's all. Don't trade against the trend. If you get a signal, like right here, and you don't have the 50 and 15 going with you, don't take it. There'll be another one down the road. The stops are all the same. Every stop is 10 ticks. That's it. So if you get stopped out immediately, which, hey, I'm not going to kid you, it happens. Not often. Thank God not often. But it'll happen. And if you get stopped out immediately, boom, that's it. Today, Mark got stopped out on the first 2 trades. Came back, and as he told you, I think he lost $40 on 3 contracts and made over $200 on 5 contracts. Okay, Patrick, lines 1 and 3 represent what? Lines 1 and 3, volume and momentum. Number 2 is the oscillator. I don't pay much attention to the oscillator. Volume, but lines 1 and 3 are volume and momentum. You definitely want momentum with you, and you definitely want volume with you. Mr. Sullivan, I cannot show them to you because, number one, I trade a little differently than Mark. It just so happened I didn't take either of those trades. I don't remember where they were. But if you want to see a losing trade, I'm going to see if I can find one. Let me go to crude. By the way, anybody trading crude, I strongly suggest the March contracts. You know, Roy, honest to God, who is her? Now, see, here's the cursor. But if you have any question about it, take a look
take a look. It says rising. You see it says MA rising right here. Still green. That refers to the 50. So I wouldn't. I'm going to wait and see. Boom. Look at that. I got red on the 50, red on the 15. The differential's only 8 ticks. I know my entry is going to be, I know it, that it's going to be 9 ticks away from the high. So I have my entry waiting at 02. And look at that. I mean, it would really, OF plus mom. Okay? I don't know what OF plus mom is. Sorry. So the system here. Here, let me hear. You have the 5th, but the 5th. So just for your entry, look at the result. Just take a look at the result. And here you can see how it keeps you out. Here's the side and right there. You've got volume, but look at that. You've got the 15 is absolute. The 50 is going back. And you're going to pay the price, because look what happens. And right down. Patience. Okay. I'm going to, I hope to see everybody in the room tomorrow. I'll stay in the room. I'm going to turn it over to Mark, but if there's any questions, thank you, Kathy. If there's any questions that you want me to answer, I'll type the answers in, because I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mark. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Okay.
Thanks so much. I mean, Mike gave you a trader's no-frills discussion of the system. What I want to try to do is just give you a little more of a regimented discussion. I'm going to show you a trading day in the room. These were all trades called live. Bruce, don't worry about the data box, all that stuff. If you like the software, we can format the data box for you. I don't use the data box. That just shows you how Mike and I trade differently. I don't feel like I need it, and I'm going to go into why. Remember, each of us have our own styles. The system is 10% discretionary, and everybody's going to develop their own trading methodology. But here's crude, and this is the trading. Here's your first entry. Now, if you're up at 6:40, if you're up at 6:46:39 in the morning, this is a strategy entry. A strategy entry is a smart entry. It will only signal when the 15 is sloping down at 45 degrees. It will only signal when the open of the candle is no more than 5 ticks from the modified 15. And it will only also trade when you have order flow, which is the first line, and momentum with you on the third. So you know on this entry that you have order flow and momentum with you, you're tight to the 15, and just what Mike said, you want to trade with the 50 and with the modified 15. Down you go, and you've got yourself an awesome trade. All the way down to here. The size of the trade, 23 ticks. Here's another trade, again, before the room opens. 750 for sloping 50. This is our version of a big retracement. Here's the big move down. Here's the huge retracement up. And then because we are retracement traders, we trade with the trend. The trend is still down. And then there's the move to the downside. It comes with a power entry off a sloping 50. We got neither one of us in the room. This was a 20-tick trade. To a real night owl, 23 and 20. But we were in the room on the same trade again. It came up. Remember, our trend is still down. It's just still a variation. Went back to the fifth down, and it was entry off the 50. 15. In fact, we want the yellow. Matter. Remember, it is not a trade. It's a retracement trade, but it's our version of a bounce. There's a little bit of nuance, but what we consider is we are trading with the trend. The trend is defined by the 50. The 50 is falling. And what I love about both of these entries, you can see that the candle body is big. There's a lot of selling conviction. The candle body comes right off the 50. There's a lot of selling conviction. Trade to the downside. Now here is where we're looking for the 50 and the 15. We got our retracement back, and we got it in the room. I'm not calling this retrospectively. 19 ticks to the downside, right here. The 50 is red, 15 is red entry. You're in below the candle, and bam, you go. That's been trade. So down intact by the modified 15. This is proprietary trend line. Enter in one tick. Let's move across for the entire. Here's a C candle. This was a little bit aggressive because it had lifted off the 15. I took it in the room. It went 9 ticks. They traced back. The move. The uptrend was still intact, defined by the 50 and the 15. It was 1 tick above. It pushed up. But then on this candle, if you see this candle, I look down at my 3 line, and order flow, which is the first line. Order flow is the first, stochastic is the second, and momentum is the third. I looked and order flow had turned red. And I saw that the trade had tried to push up. And now, with order flow turning red, I knew that it was time to bail on this trade. This trade was not going to make it on red order flow. So I closed the trade at -2. So we had 23, we had 19, we had 9, and we had a -2. A scratch loss. No big deal. Now, if we move across the chart, when we do not trend line is yellow. I just like to get a big candle body right off the 50 for the move to the up. Didn't like here, potential trade, right here. But the modified 15 was too close to the entry for me. Tons of room in my entry in the modified 15. Being very conservative, I didn't take the trade. But it's a great structural setup, a nice candle body coming right off the 50. I stood aside on it, and bam, up it went for 22 ticks. Now, by this time we're out of the room. But here's a beautiful trade to the downside. You've got the move is down. Blue in the order window. I don't use it, and let me know why I don't. But here's the entry. The 15 is red. It rolls on this candle. The 15 is red. The 50 is red on this candle. And down you go. Simply by taking trades with the 50 and the 15, you carve out 50 or 60 ticks of profit. Now, I'm going to show you today in the room. And because today was a very, I know we're running out of time. Today was a very, very challenging day for me. Much than normal. Is our right line say the data window? You can use it if you like. This is always 16 ticks away from the 50. And what Mike was telling you is absolutely right. Now, we have formatted an auto trader. I don't want to really discuss it. We have an auto trader webinar tomorrow. And anybody who wants the link to the webinar, it's 2 o'clock tomorrow. It's an amazing auto trader. And it's going to trade about 175 wins and about 25 losses in a year. But this defines, based on a statistical basis, not guesswork, if you take a trade with the entry within 16 ticks of the 50, the probability of a successful trade is amazingly high. Amazingly high. Now, like Mike said, and Mike is 100% correct, not going to get a win. Downside. But I couldn't take this tremendous right to our actually low pivot and went 28. Placement moved down, was a pattern was red, right over. I lost. I took a recent into it and tap, bam, $100 on 3. That's $1,000 on 5. But I have faith in the system, and I don't worry about it. I don't lose my cool, and one thing I don't do is I don't quit. So up till now, in the entire month, I only had one. I went comes all the way up. Can't take. I didn't take this trade. Mike does not a different style. This was a downside. I didn't take because it was into an unbroken, which went another 20. Now we have a 3-line break here. Order flow, stochastic, momentum are in our favor. We're a long trade, but the 50 is down. We can't trade it. And when you trade with specificity, you're going downside. It's flow, stochastic, momentum favor. 2/3 candle close below the 50. Bam. 14 ticks. Short. Plus 10 ticks. Then I had another 14-tick winner on the Russell. So I closed with 4 winners in a row. I had 13 on the Russell. Minus 10, and in this educational set, most rugged day that in the room. On 3 contracts, you lost $30. And on 5 contracts, you made $200. And this is after a drawdown of $1,000 on 5 and $600 on 3. Come all the way up to a scratch loss on 3, and you're up to plus 200 on 5. Just let the system do the work for you. We essentially are trend traders. We placement. We look for the not call tops. We take a 50, but the 50, and just say reason we do. It's because I believe that the trend is set by institutional traders. Those are the guys who determine the trend of the market. If you want to buck the trend, if you want to trade, if you want to counter trend trade, you want to call tops and you want to call bottoms, then what you are doing is you're trying to outwit the institutional guys. We want to trade with the institutional guys. Because the only people that we're going to take, if you walk away with money at the end of the day, you're not taking it out of the hands of institutional traders. You're taking it out of the hands of the other little guys who are trading like us, who trade 2 contracts, 1 contract, 3 contracts, 4 contracts, 5. You're not taking it out of the guys that put in 25 and 50 lot. And I used to watch the tape. I used to watch 50, 50, 25, 25. They would hammer the market, and they set the trend. And what we want to do is get on board the trend that the institutional guys set. And this program makes it super easy. We never counter trend trade. And we never call tops, we never call bottoms. That is our mantra. The 3-line indicator, top is order flow, middle is stochastic, bottom is momentum. The predictive value of a trade when order flow and momentum in your direction is the same as if you have stochastic. What Mike said again is completely accurate. He wants the first line and the third line to be in your favor. This assimilates data from multiple time frames. As of many of these indicators, this is a momentum signal as the X, the arrows are power entries, the triangles are strategy entries, and the ABC, based on a statistical analysis of 1 year of market replay data, 15 ticks, 70%. I want to invite everybody into the room because challenging market. Simply going to wait for the 50 and the 15 to align, and just roll with the trend. Now I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to move my in here, and I'm going to close up. I just want to show this one slide, and then we're going to stop. Now, normally $29.99. If you're in this webinar, promotion for the webinar, we're going to discount any package $250. Number one. Now, Leo is going to put on the website a link, which is going to be for $2,750. It's going to say webinar attendees only. That's going to be your link to the discounted package of $27.50. This gives with it you get a 7-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. We rarely get anyone who wants their money back. But if you don't like the software, I am so confident you're not going to like it. You're going to love it. If after 1 week of evaluation it doesn't do what we say it does, you just send us an email and you'll have your money back in 10 minutes. We do not want your money if you are not happy with the software. You get 2 months in the live trading room for free. You get 8 hours of personal mentorship time with me. And I am going to teach you how to trade the system, and you are going to trade it profitably, because I trade it profitably. And I do it every day in front of about 65 people in the trading room. And I'll do it in front of you as well. You'll also get access to our proprietary video library. And there will be a webinar attendees only link on the order page if you want to order. I know everybody's been burned. I've been burned. Mike's been burned. Everybody has bought crappy software that doesn't work. It's clogging up their computer, your shelves, your library. That's why I want you guys to come into the room tomorrow and watch the software trade live. If you want to commit an extra couple of days, we'll let you stay. We believe that the more info you get on this program, the more you see it work, and the more you trade it, the more you'll want it. Now tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and then I'm going to done because I don't want to. Kathy is great. I don't want to keep her late, and we're running out of time. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., if you just go into our trading room, there'll be no username and password needed. We're going to have a separate webinar on our auto trader. We'll only have 15 copies left. We started with quite a few. That's it. Once we give out those 15 subscriptions, it's $375 a month for the auto trader, completely separate from this. The auto trader makes between $1,200 and $1,500 a week based on 1 year of market replay data. No back testing, all forward testing. We've only tested it on one market, and that is crude oil. We have not looked at it on any other. I'm sorry I don't have time. People want to see the DAX. The DAX is a momentum market, just like crude. It trades great on the system. I love the DAX. If I could get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and trade the DAX, I would be up. A lot of people trade the ES on a 3 range. If I didn't do as well as I did trading Russell and crude, I would trade a 3 range ES. This trades momentum markets and it trades rotational markets like bonds, notes, and the ES. It is a great system on the NASDAQ, the Dow. Mike doesn't like it on the Russell, but this is why, we're two individuals. I like the Russell, and I trade it every day in the room profitably. Mike likes to go with natural gas and crude oil. He's a more aggressive trader, and you know what? He's a better trader than I am. He really has his pattern recognition skills are unbelievable. So he can handle the movement and volatility of natural gas and crude oil. I cannot. If I trade crude, I need a slower moving market, and that's why I complement it with the Russell. And the Russell usually hands us a nice winner or two every single day. So if you are interested in learning more about the program, join us in the room tomorrow, absolutely free. If you'd like another couple of days in that room, we'll extend your trial. Then we need your email address. Just go to the homepage of www.rightlinetrading.com, request a formal stay in the room, and we'll give you 3 more days in the room. We want you to see how our system works. And I think I'm out of time, and I wish to God I could spend another 15 minutes and answer more questions, because I'm sure you may have plenty. But I'm telling you, if you buy the software, it'll be the last piece of software you ever buy. And if you come into the trading room, I will trade it for you profitably every single day. Just remember, please, that it's for educational purposes only. It is not for live trading. I must put that disclaimer in. It's extremely important. You can call us at 855-765-6681, info@rightlinetrading.com. You send us an email. It's all on our website at www.rightlinetrading.com. We're all here to help you and support you, and that's why I give 8 hours of personal mentorship time. There is no program, there's nobody who does that, who spends 8 hours with each trader who buys the software and walks them through each individual trade painstakingly. And I do this with people who trade all over the world on Skype. I have them in Singapore. I have them in Asia. I have them in the Middle East, in Australia, everywhere. And most people don't need the 8 hours. After 4 hours, man, they're rolling on this program. But if you need 8, you got 8. You have 4 2-hour sessions with me. So that's it in a nutshell. I really, really, really thank everybody for attending. I hope to see everybody in the trading room tomorrow. You are going to be impressed. We are not the guys who say, we love our software, but we don't trade it live. We don't have a trading room, blah, blah, blah. We use it, and we trade it for money. So I'm going to close and say goodnight to everyone. Thank everybody for attending, and look forward to seeing everybody in that room tomorrow. The trading room tomorrow will be at 8 o'clock. Thank you. Okay, listen, everybody have a terrific night. Thank you so much. Kevin, Kathy, for all the support and help that you've given us. I really appreciate it.
Advantage of their offer. That's Right Line Trading. Again, thank you, everyone. Have a great day trading tomorrow. And to each and every one of you,